Picture this, if you will. La Plagne, it's a small village, about 6,500 feet in the French Alps. It's a Saturday. February 15th, 1992 to be exact. So we're going back a little in time. It's about 3 in the afternoon, not a cloud in the sky, the sun is nowhere to be seen either, and I'm standing at the start. I can hear the announcer reporting the interval times that the Czech team is doing on their run. I'm hearing it, although I'm not listening. I'm hearing it loud and clear, although strangely enough the voice seems faint, like it's behind some distant hill. The still air temperature is minus 15 degrees, but I'm hot. I'm burning up. Streams of hot steam are rising from my body, dissipating in the air like smoke on a windy day. And even now I can see myself standing there, fully dressed in black, surrounded by white snow and ice, focused. Intensely focused, looking down the track, mentally visualizing myself going down it. And in my mind, I gently steer the sled off the last corner, corner 19, and I feel the sled react, and it glides up the braking stretch, just as the loudspeakers announce the Czechs' finish time. This is the last time I'll be performing this ritual before I race. I'm next. I'm next, but it's not time yet, so I'm just standing there waiting. The white sled that we rented from Dresden, which is one of the largest sled manufacturers in the world, is lying on its side, just off to my right behind me. It's one of the best sleds on the circuit, and a small part of the reason why the East Germans have been so dominant in the sport. And up until a year ago, only these Germans would have had a sled like this. But with the fall of the Berlin Wall, they discovered a wonderful world called capitalism. Now almost everybody is driving one of these super fast sleds. You see, folks, the Olympic two-man bobsled event had started nearly an hour ago. And with its commencement, the track and its environs, it took on a whole new appearance. It became a congested marketplace, only with more order, more urgency, more importance. So, understand, this was the Olympic Games. The single biggest event in the world, the single biggest event in our lives. I grew up in an area of Kingston called Olympic Gardens. Sounds like a fitting place for a future Olympian, doesn't it? Olympic Gardens. From the name, you may even think that, and understandable so that, Olympic Gardens is a suburb of Kingston, perched on a hillside, being swept by breezes of the Caribbean Sea. It sounds romantic. But the truth is that Olympic Gardens then was, now still is, one of the toughest ghettos in the world. It's a shanty town, characterized by broken down shacks, set in a maze of dirt tracks and alleys. In contrast was Forest Hills, about 3 miles away, lined with big, beautiful mansions. And I'm not talking about shacks that were bigger than mine or more brightly painted than mine. I'm talking about houses that would fit almost into any affluent neighborhood in this country. And all I had to do was to look up, day and night. Night and day, they just stood there, a stark reminder of that which I didn't have but wanted. It was incredible. Here I was living in squalor and poverty, and less than 5 miles away were these people living like kings and queens. And I wanted that, so I started to dream. Started to dream about getting out of the ghetto. Started to dream about living in a nice house in a nice neighborhood. I started to dream, there's so many times in elementary school I went to school barefooted. In high school, I started my athletic career barefooted. Couldn't afford shoes. So I just dreamt about, being able to afford and own some of the nicer things in life. And as I dreamt, I slowly began to put in place a vision of myself, somebody who is totally successful. And the more I dreamt of success, the more I realized that there were inherent byproducts of success, self-accomplishment, self-worth, contentment, and so on. I wanted those things. So I just continued to dream. And I slowly began to put into place the stepping stones to my dreams, my goals. Now, my first goal was to enlist in the officer corps of the Jamaica Defense Force. And I'm getting some funny look. You didn't know Jamaica had an army? Why do you think the United States have never even considered invading? Huh? We're bad. Those coconuts make good missiles, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Focus is staying on track as you grow into the person you wish to become. It's a sweat equity, the effort that you have to put into using every ounce of your ability to take on the odds and envision incredible results. Whatever you focus on, you get. Whatever you think about the most, you become. I said that once, and a guy came up to me after the presentation and said, Devon, that's not true, because if that were true, I'd be a woman by now. You know? But I didn't say it was easy.
Devon Harris was invited to speak at our annual sales awards banquet. He thoroughly entertained our staff of 300, made them laugh. However, more than that, they touched him with his story of overcoming challenges and perseverance. I would highly recommend Devon for any corporate event and could be very pleased. He was more than happy to stay and interact with our crowd after the meeting, and everybody just really loved how friendly he was and down to earth. We appreciated him speaking at our event and would look to do more business with him in the future.
We never gave up. Even more recently, as I trained to go to Nagano, I remember clearly, January 1997, I'm in Calgary, and the coach says to me, Devon, if you don't get sponsorship by June, you should give up. You'll be chasing pipe dreams. And I agreed with him. I agreed that, yeah, I should give up. But only because I was sure that by June I'd have my funding. I didn't write to you guys, unfortunately. But I was sure I was going to have it, and so therefore that whole conversation wouldn't matter anymore. But let me pause here long enough to say, go chase your pipe dreams. You hear me? Go chase your pipe dreams. June came and I had no sponsorship. I'm in Evanston, Wyoming. I moved. I'm now coaching myself. I'm in Evanston, Wyoming. I'm training 8 hours a day, delivering pizzas at night. I'm doing anything I can to keep the dream alive. I'm not giving up, because the minute you give up, it's over. At the same time, my right knee is swollen about 1.5 times the size, tendonitis, and I'm training every day. And my brakeman, Jason, would go, how are we going to get to the Olympics? And I said, I don't know. But anything less than getting there is a failure, and I don't intend to fail. And I would go to the track in the mornings, and I would jog the first lap, and I'm in pain. And, you know, the notorious R. Kelly had a song, I Believe I Can Fly. And I would jog around, and I go, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. And I come around the second lap, and I'm singing to myself, if I can see it, then I can be it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. June, July, August, no sponsorship. Still believing I can fly. September, October, no sponsorship. The Olympics are in February. November, December, no sponsorship. I'm still believing, but I'm frustrated as hell. January, sponsorship. This is a uniform I'm racing in Nagano. What if I'd given up in June, as he had suggested? Okay, so I hung out for another couple of months. I waited until August and I gave up. What if I'd given up in December? Never give up. You hear me? Never give up. The minute you give up, it's over. It's over. The minute you give up, you have taken failure on yourself. You have adopted failure. Never give up. It's never over, as they say, until the fat lady sings. And she has laryngitis. So